this is Jaylee with Crescent Sotheby's International Realties, and in the spirit of October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we want to highlight two of our very special agents that are known within their communities that they purchase and sell properties in and assist their clients purchase and sell properties as well. And so we wanted to share their stories, but not so much on a personal level as well, but how it impacts their work, how they service their clients, and how they give back to their community. Hi ladies, welcome.
Hi.
With us today are Shelly Dupuy. She works out of our Covington office and works the North Shore and some of our South Shore market. And Ms. Jennifer Rogers Owens. She works our North Shore and is expanding into our South Shore territory as well. So they are great people to know for all of your real estate needs.
Thank you for having us.
That was amazing.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, so we had some questions that we wanted to ask you, and we'd love to hear your story and how it impacts the way you do business and how you give back to our community. So I'll start with you, Jennifer. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm, like you said, Jennifer Rogers Owens. I was a kindergarten teacher for 34 years, and then now I've been a realtor for 9 years. I'm a breast cancer survivor. January of 2019, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, but praise God, 6 years later, survivor. So
That's wonderful.
yes,
Happy
doing
to
well.
hear that.
Thank you. And I live here in Hammond with my husband Jimmy, and we have one daughter, Emily, who's 28. And she's in Georgia with her husband in the Army.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Shelly, tell us about you.
I'm Shelly Dupuy, and I have lived in St. Tammany for 25 years this year. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in November of 2020, so we're going on 5 years next month. And I'm very blessed to be here and to be back at work as a realtor because I absolutely love working with people. And it's just been such a blessing. We have fantastic doctors and facilities here in our area in Louisiana where I was able to have all my surgery and just feel confident that I was in the best hands.
What has your journey through breast cancer taught you about perseverance and resilience? And how has that strength shown up in your real estate career?
Okay, so I really do. I think that's a great question because through breast cancer, I've definitely learned, number one, to have a lot of faith. You have to have a lot of faith in God, a lot of faith in our family and our community because them supporting us through this journey means so very much. The main thing I've learned, I think, is that sometimes times get tough. Sometimes people are going through a very, very difficult time. You may not realize it. You may look at them and they may seem like they're normal on the outside, but truly on the inside, they're battling something. So I think the main thing I've learned is to just always be kind, always look out for the people, and to do what's best for them.
Nice.
She pretty much did. Well, as far as with people, because you don't know what's going on the inside. They put on a happy face, which I believe I pretty much did. I did stay positive throughout it all. My breast cancer journey was all during the COVID shutdown, so it was, just a magnitude of things were affecting us, and I still had clients that I didn't want to disclose this to, so you just have to put on the happy face and the smile. And with that, now I realize when I'm talking to clients and if they seem like there's something off, just to be more compassionate, to understand that everybody has their own challenges and struggles through life. You definitely know who comes up and steps up to help you. I have some incredible neighbors and close friends and coworkers that really stepped up and were there for me. And top of the list is my husband, who was there every step of the way. And so with God, for sure, I was blessed to have that man, there to take good care of me. We call him Dr. Dave. I even made a little plaque for him at the end of it all because I went through 4 surgeries in the 1 year in 2021. So it was a lot of him taking care of me.
Wow.
Yes.
I love to hear that. So our support systems play the biggest role in propping us up is what I'm hearing.
100%.
Yes. Okay. You found new strength through your circles, your communities, your sphere, right? How did you apply those types of strengths in relying on people when it came to real estate? Like, did you find yourself not just being more compassionate with your clients, but did you find yourself now that time has passed relying more on your office or on fellow colleagues because you knew you weren't completely available 1,000%? Did you do that more now than before? Or do you find yourself more isolated when it comes to your business than before? Did it not impact your business at all?
Right. I definitely think that here in our real estate friends, we have a name that we call ourselves the free friends. And those free friends, I know for me, they showed up so much when I was going through the surgeries, the chemo, the recovery. They would call and say, you know, Jim, what can I do? Can I go show a house for you? They even went to closings for me. So they really, truly, my real estate friends really, truly showed up for us. And then back to, like we said, even the community, our family and our best friends that would just say, what can we do? We'll go put these flyers out. We'll go put signs out for you, whatever you need. So that helped out a lot.
I think that it just expanded my entire network of people. So, for instance, I went to an all-girls Catholic school in New Orleans, and just that 1 year alone, having posted on social media about my journeys, had 3 fellow classmates reach out and say, hey, I'm going through this, I'm gonna have this surgery. And so that definitely just expanded my network. We're now in communication again, and along with, we have 220 approximately students that I graduated with, all girls. That's just the 3 that were that 1 year along with myself. I know for a fact that we had another, in the past classes, and we just share, we network. But through those, I talk to them now on a regular basis. I hadn't spoken to them except for our class reunions for years, but now I have people on the South Shore where I hadn't lived in 25 years that are remembering, okay, well, wait, she's a realtor, so I might sell one of their family's homes or help one of their kids, like, hey, Shelly's in Mandeville, we can come over there. So I think it just broadened, and some other activities that I did, or whatever. I was invited to join Unite, which is a wonderful organization to really boost women with not only breast cancer, but other forms of cancer. I ended up having surgeries and not doing the full performance, but I was there part of the group and participated in some of the activities and met the most phenomenal women. And through that too, again, I've just added to my entire network, all of my friends. They're there for support. And again, I'm there to support them if they should need a realtor at any time. But it really, just the positivity, and I make myself get up every day instead of just taking things for granted. My husband and I, we go to happy hour and enjoy meeting new people, and we ride our bikes all the time. We love getting out and being active and meeting people, and of course, wherever I am, I love to talk. So, I like to share my story with women and just let them know that it'll be okay, but you've got to get checked early, because had I not, I definitely wouldn't be in this position. I was 100% fine 1 year exactly prior in 2019, and in 1 year's time, I ended up with invasive ductal carcinoma, stage 1, grade 2, and so here I am. If I wouldn't have been checked, you never know.
That's exactly right. You never know. Definitely make sure that you follow up with your mammograms, follow up either with your doctors and everything. And the community support, like we said too, I'm involved with the Crew to Cha-Chas. It's a local organization here in Tangipahoa Parish that supports family members and breast cancer participants. So the great thing is it gives back to the community. We're getting ready for our big event, the Bling a Pair to Save a Pair. And so it just gives not only to the breast cancer survivors, but also to their families to help them out. And also with Mary Bird Perkins. And I know we have that right here around us all too. And that's such a great organization that helps people back from the doctors. Like you go back to our local facilities that we have here with the doctors and the nurses and the friends and the community and the churches, just everything.
Oh, I don't think people realize that we are absolutely so lucky that we have the only breast-only hospital in the entire country right here in Louisiana in New Orleans, the Center for Restorative Breast Surgery. They are phenomenal. That's who I had all my surgeries with. Yes. And I know you've gone there and had some surgery as well, so we are very lucky with that. I've through social media and met women from other parts of the country that I've been able to help, whether it's just a hotel, like, hey, you know, the North Shore's really not that far. Try to get a hotel room for 10 days while they have to stay in the city to have their surgeries. They can go here. Most of the surgeons live on the North Shore that actually own and work at the facility. So I mean, it's just a blessing in a way all around, because I've met so many incredible women.
Yeah, I do. That's what I feel like too. Like, God puts us exactly where we need to be and with who we need to be with to share our stories or to help them on their journey.
You guys segued perfectly into our other questions, which were pretty much about how do you balance your experience with your life and career now. And it sounds like, Shelly, you take full opportunity of getting up, getting out there, taking every day as a blessing,
Living it
and being
to the fullest.
part of it, along with your family and the community work that you do. And it sounds like you, Jennifer, do the same. So you have definitely found the balance. So for me, though, the question is, were you involved with any of those community elements prior to your diagnosis? Were you part of Crew to Cha-Cha beforehand? Were you part of what was the organization you said?
Unite was one of them.
Yeah, Unite?
Unite.
Yeah, were you?
Unite.
Okay. So
I was not. And my mom actually was a breast cancer survivor, and you know, so I knew a lot of these organizations. But life, you do get busy, and now it is more of a priority to make sure that I do attend. Some of them going Friday to.
That's okay.
But I'm going Friday to one of it's like
one of the events.
event, charity event from the title company. But no, but I mean, because of that, and then they asked me for sure, like, because they know I'm one of their breast cancer realtors, and it's amazing that you don't know what's going on. Right before I got diagnosed, so I didn't get diagnosed till November 20th. I was doing one of the biggest transactions I had ever done. God blesses you, because I would not have had that commission. I may not have been able to. Honestly, I would have stressed a lot more that year. I had to take care of myself. There was a realtor I was working with who was really on top of everything. Then at the very end, she became a little more distant, and I didn't know what was going on. And after we closed the deal, she reached out to me. This was like at the end of September, and she said, "Thank you so much. I had this woman. She had breast cancer. She had the same procedure that I did. So seeing her literally have her surgery in December, I found out in November. So both of us working on this deal found out within a couple of months that we had breast cancer. So I watched her, watching other women go through it and stay positive and keep kicking. And I had another friend who had survived and had the same procedure as well. And she was going on 16 years that year, I found out. So watching women, and that's why I do appreciate and want to share my story, because you don't want them to think like it's the end of the world. It's not.
It's not.
What needs to be done, though, is to catch it soon, and that's why it's important to talk about.
Do you still work with that realtor?
I do.
Same
She's
connection.
lovely, and we keep in touch, and it's fantastic. That she was there for me, and then I followed up and checked on her, and then I was able to be there for some others. And I'm always reminding, because one thing that was very surprising is that there are younger, I think the average age is maybe right around 50, but the younger and younger I saw, I was like, wow, everybody needs to be checking, and not just mammograms. They have to be checking every month, because doing physical exams, once I knew the tumor was there, I was able to actually feel it. I didn't feel it before. I didn't have any symptoms whatsoever, but because once they did the mammogram and I knew where it was, I was able to actually physically tell. So had I maybe done some of my self-exams, which I wasn't the best at prior to, I might have found it even sooner. So
That's absolutely
That's
true.
important.
That is very important. I know my mom is a breast cancer survivor also, but we do not have the BRCA gene, which is very common. Oh, you didn't either
did
with
not
your
either.
mom. And then my daughter actually found her lump after my breast cancer surgery. So after going through my journey she decided she had a prophylactic double mastectomy just to make sure, because she didn't want to take the risk of something happening and
Right.
growing. But like you said, women supporting, there's a precious 24-year-old in our community right now who her mom, her grandmother, her aunt, they all had breast cancer. She does not have the BRCA gene. She's getting married in 6 months, but that baby girl just had a prophylactic double mastectomy, thinking it was nothing, but found out that it's cancer. at 24. So it is. You just never know. So I guess our biggest message would be for people to make sure and to go get checked, to follow up no matter what. If you feel something, make sure you go to the doctor, do the breast exams, the MRIs.
Early prevention.
Early prevention, early detection.
Early
is the
detection.
key.
Just don't put it out. I could have easily put it off. We were in the midst of COVID. My dad was at my house. He had just had lung cancer surgery. I was taking care of him. I easily could have put it off. And because my mom had breast cancer, I really did. At 35, I got a baseline. And then at 40, I started doing mammograms every year. And so I was like, no, I can't put it off. I'm just going to do it. And I am so thankful I did, because I could have easily put it off another year. And if I would have, it would have been a lot.
Yes.
It would have been a lot.
Now, I know this is more serious, but I like to be lighthearted in serious
Yes.
situations. I would like to compare early detection to pre-listing checklist
There you go.
in
That's
our
right.
industry
That's great.
of real estate, right? When you're going into a property, you're giving it a look at all of any potential deferred maintenance, making sure your property is serviced with the AC, the HVAC, the plumbing, the electrical. You are taking care of that property, that investment
We're
in your
checking the
home.
plumbing.
We have to
You
check.
got to check the plumbing too.
You have to check
These might be the
your
electrical
stuff.
and the plumbing stuff.
Yeah. So to keep that lighthearted, that's something I think that we could all resonate with.
I think it's so true too, because well, like you said, there's a list for everything. And well, number one though, going back to, we have to keep our priorities in order. God first, family second, and then everything else. So like when we're going on a listing appointment, or when a client calls to go help find a house, we have a list that we go through. We have our list of priorities for our health. We have a list of priorities for our clients. It's kind of like the same thing. Yeah.
I like that. Do you find you're more a stickler for a list these days when it comes to your health?
I know I am.
Like-
I call it chemo brain. I call it chemo brain, or either it was teaching kindergarten for 34 years, but I forget. So I have constant lists everywhere, to check and to recheck. To make
So
sure.
are you
What I
like, did
do-
I get my eyes checked this year? Did
Oh,
I
yes.
go to the dentist?
Yeah.
check?
No, 100%. So I pretty much take October as a me month, and I take April, which is my birthday month, as a me month, and I make sure I'm just going through all. I think I had 5 appointments scheduled a couple of weeks ago. I did talk about eyes because some of the medication that you have to take, it can affect your eyes. It can affect other things. I made sure that I went to my gynecologist because the medication can affect other areas and cause some risk, and so hopefully the benefit.
Get everything checked from top to bottom,
Right.
just like the houses,
We
just like
check
the
the top-
houses that
top
we
to
do.
bottom.
I know, thinking about real estate and how all of this, we're all in this together. We could do like we're all in this together for the High School Musical song, or whatever.
Yes.
But to think about like with the community and how we help people. I know one of my favorite things is that I have sold. I've helped children that I've taught in kindergarten. I've helped them purchase their first
That's
houses.
amazing.
So that is one of the sweetest things. And those people and their families were there for me during my journey of breast cancer. And then just going back, I think it's just all about us helping each other.
Looking back, what are you most proud of, both personally and professionally, and how do you celebrate those victories, considering this journey you've been through?
For me, celebrating life every day. Every single day that we wake up is a gift from God. Every day God gives us people to help. It's kind of like people have helped us. Now we're in turn helping them. So I really do feel like every single day is a gift. And we have the gift to make a difference every day, whether it's the people that we're helping, whether they're looking for a home, whether they're purchasing a home, whether they're selling their home. I know with our journeys, like we said, people buying their first home, or our friends that we're helping them with their parents have passed and it's time for them to sell their home. So I just really do think it's like the circle of life. It's a full circle around for everything, but that we're just thankful for each and every day.
For me, I'm really, really blessed that I was able to celebrate my 30-year wedding anniversary just a couple of months ago. I got to watch 2 of my sons graduate college since I went through the breast cancer experience. I mean, there's so many things to look forward to in life, so I am important to be here, and they let me know how important I am. My neighbors and all of my surrounding, I do tend to check in on people a little bit more. I have an elderly neighbor that's 92 years old. She's just so lovely. And I learn from her just by going and just visiting for a little bit, which means so much to her, but she doesn't realize what she's giving back to me. So I'm hoping my positive outlook on this, just as some of my friends that I looked at, watched how they went through, and I thought, gosh, she went through all that. I didn't know until I went through it, because she had such a positive outlook, and she just, it really didn't faze me. I was like, I'm just gonna do what I have to do, and I'm gonna get through it, and it'll be okay. And I think that positivity, and then that allowed me to mentally be able to, sure, I wasn't out there physically, but I was working it at home. Even through my surgeries, I was still talking to my clients. I would say I was doing 50-50 of the, you know, like I might have referred my business out to some wonderful realtors that were willing to help me during that time, but I was on that phone, I was doing the paperwork, and I was still mentally able to do that. So this job is a blessing for that, because we do have the flexibility. But I mean, it means a lot to be able to give back to people, talk, and just say, hey, look, you gotta do this, don't put it off. Because I want them to come back to me and say, you helped, you know, oh my gosh, if I wouldn't have checked up.
Or whenever they get ready to go sell their home, to whenever they're upgrading or whenever they're building, they want to build, they're going to call you. They're going to
upgrade
that.
a little bit.
Well, yeah, that's right. We did upgrade.
That's the only positive.
We have our own upgrade. There you go. But wait, you know, when you're talking about the list of, I know going through the journey, I was the same way. We have one baby girl, but it was like, okay, please, dear God, let me get through Emily's law school graduation at Ole Miss. You know, then please, dear God, let me get through her wedding. You know, now it's please, dear God, let me see grandchildren, you know, or whatever. So it is
that the grandkid thing is a big motivation to make sure that we're healthy. I do think that I'm a little bit more physically active too. I could walk a little more, but my friend, I have some good friends trying to nudge me a little bit, but I do ride my bike with my husband. We go kayaking. I feel strong again. It did take a few years to really get the energy level back, but I feel like I'm more and more myself every year. This 5-year mark, really, I think I've taken a turn. I feel like I've gotten me back, for sure.
That's good.
What message do you hope other women or others facing a challenging time take away from your stories?
I just think that if they are put in this position, that they just see how many amazing things that they have out there to be able to get help. Today is so much different than it probably was even 20 years ago. There's so much hope. Do not give up hope. It's not the end of the world. You can get through it. You're way stronger than you think you are. I mean, it was a lot. 4 surgeries was a lot, and I just kept on going, and before you know it, it's in the rearview mirror, and you've got the strength again, and you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right, but you have to get checked early. Like my son on the way here, I was talking to him, and he goes, well, doesn't breast cancer awareness, isn't everybody aware? Everybody knows there's breast cancer. I said, baby, it's not about that. I said, people get distracted. I said, they're not thinking about it. It's to remind them to go get checked, because early detection is the number one thing to help put this, you know, in the backseat. Make sure that everybody's moving forward and that they have a wonderful, beautiful life to continue, because they're healthy and they got it taken care of and nipped it in the bud when they could. So.
Absolutely. Whenever you hear that diagnosis of you have cancer, that is a huge whoa, because here we go, you always pray for other people that you hear that have cancer, or you always think of other people. You see the commercials and you think, not me. And then you're all of a sudden like, oh my, this happened to me, you know, whatever. And then it affects your husband, your children, your parents, your best friends, your community. It affects everyone. So I think the most important thing to learn is you're way stronger than you think. Because I know both of us can look at y'all and say, I had no idea I was that strong, you know, or whatever. But now looking back, and the main thing is your attitude, to stay positive, to say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, you know, whatever. Keep that going, keep your faith. I think that's the main thing for people to realize, that you may get a negative diagnosis, but you can turn it into a positive thing. Keep your eyes up. Because I know, I mean, I almost died like 3 times. It has been a rough 6 years, but God is good. We're healthy. God has us here for a purpose. That's the main thing. We're here to serve His people. So
Appreciate you ladies taking the time to share your story, to be spokeswomen for yourselves, for your communities, for our office. And we hope to be there for you as you continue in your journeys, personally as well as professionally.
Keep living life to the fullest, because it is worth living for. There's just so many beautiful things out there. I can't wait.
I know. We're all in this together. Here we go.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.